What's up, body people, and welcome back to my channel. So today is another dupe, dud, or better. God, I feel like I haven't done one of these in forever. So if you're not familiar with my channel, I have a series that I call Dupe, Dud, or Better, where I test out potential dupes or said to be dupes with high-end makeup. So I do a side-by-side wear test, I see how each applies, and it's very, very thorough. So I'm gonna do you a favor, and I'm gonna link my entire dupe playlist at the end of this video when the music starts playing with the little bokeh background. So just click that and you'll see all my dupes. I've done so many of them. I am the dupe queen. So I have been testing these out for about 2 or 3 weeks now, and I know my thoughts, and I know the answer to the infamous question, is it a dupe, is it a dud, or is it better? So if you want to know the answer to that question, then you gotta keep watching. Alrighty, so we're at that point where it's time to apply some concealer and see, are these dupes? So I'm gonna read you the description and the price of each of these from the Ulta website. I'm using Ulta just because you can find them both on there. So let's start with Tarte Shape Tape. So this is $27, and I could be wrong on this. Please let me know if I am. I feel like this used to be like $24 or $22. I feel like when I bought this, what was it, like a year ago, I feel like it was under $25 because I thought, okay, that's not too bad. Because I feel like $27 is a little more pricey. Yeah, 24 to 27 is so much different. Mandela effect. Who knows? So I picked up the shade Fair Neutral, and I feel like that's pretty accurate. It's just a neutral, very fair shade. It's light enough to where it brightens for me, but not too light to where it looks like stark white. I feel like this is what kind of started this trend of the big doe foot applicator that packs on a lot of product, and I do like that. I really do like the applicator on it. Let's move on to the Makeup Revolution. So this is the Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour, $7, okay? $27, $7, $20 difference. But I will say you get 0.33 ounces in the Tarte Shape Tape, and you get 0.11 ounces in the Makeup Revolution. So here's what they look like side by side. 12 shades in the Tarte Shape Tape, 18 shades in Makeup Revolution. So I feel like they have done an incredible job with their shade selection. They've really bumped up the standards for Drugstore. So I got 2 shades in the Makeup Revolution. I got C1 and C2, so these are the lightest ones. So as far as which shade I like better, they both work pretty well for me. I do use C2 more because it's closer to the Tarte Shape Tape Fair Neutral. So when I test it, I do use these two together. So I have used Shape Tape before. I actually repurchased it just for this video, just to compare the two. But when I used it before, I wasn't absolutely wowed by it like everyone else is. I really wanted to be. Like, I really wanted to find a good high-end concealer that just outshined all my drugstore concealers, but it just didn't do as much for me as it does for everybody else. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna use the Tarte Shape Tape on the right side and Makeup Revolution on the left. So I'm just gonna do 1, 2. So let's start out with that, and then we'll build up from there. So I feel like if you work in thin layers, it's less prone to creasing. But as you can see, it does blend out pretty fast. I mean, I really don't have any complaints with that, but I mean, it could be creamier. Like, I feel like it does start setting pretty fast after you lay it down. It's not hard to work with or anything, but it could be creamier, I'll say that. And I'm gonna go in with like let's just do, yeah, 1 swab, just to build this up a little bit, because I feel like that wasn't exactly full coverage. I would say it's a very high medium. I just feel like it's not very easily spreadable. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Instead of it not being blendable, it's just not very easy to spread. And this is a pretty matte finish. I would say it ranges from a demi matte to a matte finish. So there's Tarte Shape Tape. So right now 2:37 is our time. We're gonna pay very close attention to when it starts settling and all that stuff. But I will say, before you powder, you can't really judge a concealer on how it settles and stuff, because typically without powder it will settle. So now going into C2 in the Makeup Revolution, and I didn't even show you the applicator. So Tarte Shape Tape is definitely a big mamma jamma. It's a little bit bigger than the Makeup Revolution. Not too much though. I mean, they're pretty similar. When you hold them side by side like that, they do look pretty close in size. But I'm just gonna do the same thing, same amounts, everything. So I'm gonna do 1, 2. I think that's how I did it. Close enough. So we're gonna blend that out. So I feel like this is more sheer on first application. Like, I feel like this is just a little bit more buildable, whereas the Tarte Shape Tape is right off the bat, you know, pretty opaque. So there is 1 layer of the Makeup Revolution, and I do feel like it's a little bit easier to blend out. It's just a tad bit more creamy, but not really a whole lot. So I'm gonna go in 1 more time, and we did a little swap this time like that. When I'm blending them, I see a very little difference. Like, it feels like I'm blending out the same concealer. Right now it's 240. What I found with my prior testing is that the Makeup Revolution side doesn't crease as much as a Tarte Shape Tape. They do hold up pretty well as far as, you know, brightness, and the full coverage doesn't really fade away or anything. I'm gonna go off camera and finish up the rest of my face, finish up my blush, setting powder, all that jazz. I'm gonna come back and show you what it looks like once we have setting powder on. Okay, so I'm back with a full face on now, with the exception of my lower lash line. Don't worry about that, but remember, this is Tarte Shape Tape Makeup Revolution. I will say I did go in with my sponge and tap out the creases before I used a setting powder on both sides, so we're kind of starting from scratch again, but I mean, I can't really see anything happening now, and like they're sitting on my under eye area the exact same way. Like there's not any difference in the appearance, the effect. I mean, the finish is the exact same. I'm gonna check back in at the very end of the day and we will come to a conclusion on if the Makeup Revolution one is a dupe. Final check-in time, I tried to make it to 8 hours or more, but it's time to take this stuff off. Like, I'm just clawing at my face. I didn't put my contacts back in. That's why I have my glasses on. So it's now 2:08. Our check-in time was 2:30. So we almost made it to 8 hours. Not exactly, but almost 8 hours. So I can't see what you can see anymore because now I'm blind. So Tarte Shape Tape Makeup Revolution. As I said, I have seen some more creasing with the Tarte Shape Tape. Now I will say, just in the essence of being fair, I have watched videos of people saying that the Tarte Shape Tape creases less on them, that the Makeup Revolution one creases more. And for me, it's opposite. I don't know why. They both wear very, very well. For the most part, I feel like they are almost identical. As far as the creasing goes, very minimal. The other times that I've worn this, I've seen less creasing with the Makeup Revolution, but today, for some reason, I don't know if it's the powder or what, but it looks pretty much identical. But yeah, it does look relatively smooth under there. The coverage is still there. There's no fading on either side from what I can see. The finish still looks the same, like they're still very matte, but neither one of them look cakey or anything. So here's what they look like when I pull my eye down. You can see there are a few creases. I can't see. I'm just going off of what I see in my little mirror down here, but when I pull my eye down, I can see creases. Very, very minimal. I mean, compared to other concealers, this is really good. So it's time to answer the question that we're all asking. Is a Makeup Revolution concealer a dupe? Is it a dud, or is it better than Tarte Shape Tape? So I feel like I can go two different ways. I can call it a dupe, or I can also say that's better. Today, I'm calling it a dupe. But another reason why I could lean towards saying that the Makeup Revolution one is a tad bit better is because as far as the consistency goes, it does blend out just a little bit better. I feel like the Tarte Shape Tape starts setting almost as soon as you apply, like even before you start blending, and I feel like you have more work time with a Makeup Revolution concealer. And I also feel like it's not as thick, so it's just a little bit more creamy, and it just spreads a little bit easier. Like, it kind of spreads more like butter, whereas Tarte Shape Tape is more like mud. That doesn't make any sense, but I think you get it a little bit. Probably not. So yeah, I could go both ways, but just to be fair, because it's not consistent analysis, I would say that it's just a solid dupe. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm so glad you decided to come here. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because you don't want to miss out on all the fun and you want to be a part of this community. Trust me, it's a great place to be. I have a little button right there in the corner. Click that. It's magical. Your life will get so much better. And don't click off yet because I have my playlist coming up, my dupes playlist. You can also just go to my homepage and scroll over to playlist, and it's right there. And give this video a thumbs up to let me know that you enjoyed it. And I'll see you on the next one. Mwah.